This is Hidden Killers Week in Review.
A look back at the most prolific stories of the week.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Brueski.
Featuring former FBI Special Agent and Chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program, Robin Dreeke.
Maddie Soto, little 13-year-old girl, murdered, allegedly by Stefan Stearns, the man that was supposed to kind of be the stepdad. It was the man who was dating the mom of Maddie Soto, the man who also, I guess, shared the same bed. That, according to Maddie Soto's mom, Jennifer herself. That's disturbing in itself. But what happened in those very first moments? Those very first moments where Maddie was being reported missing? We have more answers to that now beyond just the TV interviews that took place. We have body cam footage from police when they went in and got the initial reports of Maddie Soto being missing from Jen and Stefan Stearns. Joining me to discuss, Robin Dreeke, retired FBI Special Agent, Chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program. I need you to put on your behavioral analysis hat here for this one, because we're going to take a look at this video, and this is the officer initially walking in to gather that report of Maddie Soto being missing. Let's take a look.
This is Mom.
This is Mom? Okay. Hi there.
Hey there.
Hey there. What's going on?
So my daughter was dropped off close to school this morning, but never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
I'm sorry, one second.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Are we looking for another kid, or we have a kid?
Looking for another one.
Good.
Alright, so people are still on the scene. Let's put that out. In the hospital location. How old?
13.
I'm trying to get there right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So she was supposed to be dropped off at school, didn't make it to school.
Didn't make it to school. I went to pick her up from school today, and she never came out. They announced it over the speaker, and I'm just like, maybe she walked here, because sometimes she'll walk here to this office. I came here, nothing. I went back to the school, they were closed. I got an email from the school saying she was absent, but I also messaged her teacher, and he looked at her entire attendance today and saw that she was completely not at school today either.
Okay.
So she never made it.
Okay. What's her name?
Madeline. Madeline.
Madeline. Last name?
Soto. Soto.
Soto?
Yeah.
Date of birth?
February 22nd, 2011.
February 27th, 2000?
22nd.
Oh, sorry. 22nd,
2011.
2011.
Just had her 13th birthday.
1418 Charlie 45. What's the name of the single age?
Madeline Soto, age 13. I'm trying to get a clothing description now. What was she last seen wearing?
26 County Charlie 45. People hit my call 931 the same call.
Green hoodie.
Green hoodie.
White Crocs.
White Crocs.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts.
Yeah.
Black shorts? Okay. Black shorts. Alright. Do you know if she has like friends in the area?
She does, but she doesn't know where they live.
She doesn't know where they live. Okay.
I asked all of them.
Okay. Is this like, does she like have any places that you guys know that she'll usually be at? Any friend's house? Any places that like she likes to hang out?
Not typically, no.
No.
Not typically?
No.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I get some.
Thank you.
No problem. And what school she goes to?
Hunters Creek Middle School.
Hunters Creek Middle? Alright, cool.
That's kind of the beef of the video itself right there. There's a lot of interesting points in there. I'm going to throw it to you and see what stood out to you.
So I do a couple things when watching videos. I got a kind of different way I do things on these things. First, when you send it to me, the first thing I do is I saw the case. It's Soto, which is one of the most horrendous ones we cover because of the little girl being murdered. And they're always very compelling, and especially this case. So the first thing I do is I don't look at anything except I watch video to see if anything stands out with any kind of, I try to not have any confirmation bias in any way. I just watch it and see if anything stands out. The second thing I do is I go person by person, their role as an individual, and try to get very empathetic, not empathetic like I feel bad for, empathetic like see the world through their perspective and how would I act in that role they're playing in life
to
the information that's going on. And so That's the way I did this. So I watched it 2 or 3 times first. First one I did was the overarching one. And then the second time I did it from the point of view of her as the mom and him as the stepdad. And so here's what stood out to me as I have to give my preamble there. There was zero effect that should have been there. They should have been. She went into a narrative. In other words, she started narrating exactly what she thinks happened. Here's my script on what I want to say, what she should be doing, what people, not she should be, I hate those words, what people in those situations like this typically are doing is freaking out. Where's my daughter? Oh my gosh, my daughter's missing. I don't know what to do. Blah, 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 blah. And the officer was very calm. He was good. He's taking data. He's obviously got a few reps doing this. He's done it before, and so he's the one who's supposed to maintain the calm, collective, cognitive thought process to keep the hysterical parents and guardians calm enough to give the data. And they were very calm. So that's the first thing that struck me, is way too calm for the situation of missing daughter. The other thing that is I then went back and looked at what some other people were saying, looking for nonverbals regarding both of them. She was doing something interesting. She was swaying back and forth. Typically, a sway like this is a pacifier, and pacifying is something we do to ourselves, for ourselves, under high stress situations. The challenge in watching one video clip is we don't have more data points of baseline outside of this context. And so it's very easy for people to jump to jump to conclusions saying, oh, she's pacifying because she's under stress because they're being deceptive. People like to do that. I don't do that. I just say, okay, she's pacifying, so she's under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Okay, daughter's missing. And now things that struck me about him was some people are saying he's crossed his arms, he's blocking. Maybe that could be just a comfort mover for his as well. He did pull down in his cap a little bit, which is also a blocking indicator towards the beginning. So blocking is generally saying we don't want to share, we want to kind of close up. We don't have enough data points outside of this context to see if that's just his normal comfort behavior in situations like this. But what did stand out to me, though, is when you look at his background with her, being for 5 years, being like the stepdad, being called father, whatnot, he should have more of an emotional reaction as well. At least as equal as hers in involvement in this. But the other really telling thing that I think I saw you react when she did too is how she deflected away from talking to anyone else.
Yes.
Does she have any friends' house she would have gone to? No, she doesn't. She has friends, but she doesn't know where any of them live. And I've already talked to them all. What?
Very quick and very stern with that.
Yeah. So those are the two things for me, is the lack of effect that you would expect for a parent of a missing child, and deflecting from any potential leads. Like, hey, I would have been talking to all of my daughter's friends as well, but you know what? You go do it too. Maybe I missed something. That should have been the effect. And maybe we didn't talk to them all. Let me lark my limb. Let me think a little bit more. I mean, so see how I'm kind of going through that. This is me in the moment saying, oh my gosh, my daughter's missing. I talked to these friends. Then I turn to my partner and say, hey, can you think of anyone else? I did. See what I mean? They should have been back and forth, trying to give leads to the officer to try to find their daughter, and that was not happening.
She's putting roadblocks up right away. I mean, if your daughter's not there, you don't know where she is. Yes, you're going to want to talk to anyone and everyone to figure out what does anybody know. But I'm suspecting the reason she didn't want anybody talking to anybody else is either she knew about what happened, or she may be kind of scared of, what has her daughter said to friends about the abuse that she's endured through Stefan Stearns, because we know what that's reality is. And that's, it's just a sick case all around, and seeing more and more elements of this. I don't know. I'm very surprised she has not been charged yet, but I am wondering if she's going to end up being a state witness or something, and maybe she's helping uncover more of this sex trafficking that may have been going on with Stefan and his images and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know it's kind of apples and oranges because the Diddy case, remember, it's taken a long time getting charges on Diddy case because we're dealing with trafficking, we're dealing with child porn potentially. There's a lot of elements there. And so as those tendrils are going out, you don't want to charge it until you can actually get them all out. And we talked about this on the Soto case before. I think when you are trying to dig deep in other words, you'll get charges when they've hit the end of the road. And the fact that they don't have charges yet means they haven't hit the end of the road of what they're finding. If they're good investigators. And I think they are doing a good job on this one. Again, I'm glass half full when it comes to this kind of thing because they got a lot of data off his cell phone. They got a lot of images. And so I think that opened a can of worms they were not expecting. So
I agree.
Want to listen ad-free? Want advanced access to all of our interviews before anyone else?
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
You get every episode commercial-free.
So you can binge on true crime
until you can binge no more.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts now, or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast next.